Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. We're going back to 1937 today, all the way in London. And we're going to be looking for a top secret document that is missing. We only have 7 hours to find this, and also Special Agent Adler's missing as well. We need to try to track him down and get him and eliminate him before he gets away with this top secret document. We're looking today at a family game called Get Adler. It's sort of a lighter deduction with a social element with a little bit of a sort of trader mechanic where one person's going to be trying to stay hidden and trying to get away to the end of the game, where the rest of them are trying to figure out who the bad guy is and trying to arrest him and get him down. So this is on Kickstarter right now. It's for 4 to 6 players. Let me show you what's played. I'll see you on the other side. At the beginning of the game, everyone's going to be secretly given one of these roles. Here we have a 4-player game. One player is going to be Agent Adler, and he's basically the bad spy. What he's trying to do is, by the end of the 7th hour, he's trying to escape and have at least one top secret document. Or he's trying to eliminate all the other good players. Well, the good players are trying to keep Agent Adler from having at least one top secret document at the end of the 7th hour, or they're trying to basically eliminate him by shooting him or having him arrested. Now for the components, these are prototype material, and the artwork is subject to change as well. Now here is a player aid that each player will get. It has all the different agents, their names, what they look like, and different things about them. Their hat, hair, eyes, and coat colors. And on the back side of this will be the quick rules, which gives just basically the flow of the game, what the different cards do, and the amount of cards of each of those. So here we have the 4 players set up, their secret role is flipped up, and the 1 o'clock comes out next to the start player. Now everybody starts with 7 of these cards in their hand, secretly from other players, that they'll be playing over the course of the game. During the early rounds of the game, each player on their turn is going to be playing a card into the center and possibly doing something that the card tells it to do. Once everybody has gone around, it will then be the 2nd round or the 2nd hour, and 3rd and 4th and so on and so forth. Remember, there's only 7 rounds in the entire game. Now, this card is a question card. It allows you to ask anybody a question about themselves, and just to let you know that on your turn, you do have 7 cards. You're going to draw a card first, and then you're going to play one like this. Now, that question has to be a yes or no answer, and it's got to be about the color of any of one of these or many of these. Now, these are the characters in the 4-player game. These ones for 5 and 6. We'll go over those later. But for instance, you might look at the player next to you and you might say, "Do you have a blue hat?" And this player will have to say yes or no. And based upon that, if they said no, then we know that they're not this player and they're possibly Adler. If I was this player, I'd know for sure that that player is pretty much Adler. And then of course it'd be the next player's turn, and you'd keep going around in rounds like this. And let me show you what some of these other cards do. Now there are some top secret documents. There's some that are, Air Force or Navy, or Army and things like that. Now these are just discarded. Now why would these get discarded? Well, if you're a good agent, you would discard this to kind of show people, well, I'm probably not the bad guy because I wouldn't be throwing away these top secret documents, because you need these to win the game if you're the Adler bad spies. Now, if you are Adler, you could throw these away to sort of throw the scent off you or sort of bluff that you're not him. Someone might play a magnifying glass, which allows you to look at all the cards in another player's hand, and then you give them back to them essentially to see what they're holding, which will give you some good information. You could play the binoculars, which allows you to essentially take a card from a player's hand randomly, and then you decide which card from your hand you put back into their hand, essentially swapping a card from another player. Now after we've finished the 3rd round, meaning everybody has played 3 cards, we start the 4th hour of the 4th round. Starting with that, a new action is possible. Anybody that has the arrest card, let's say it's this player's turn, can try to arrest one of the characters. They put the arrest card next to him, and we find out. If this player was not Adler, they basically say no, and both these 2 players would lose their next turn. If this player was Adler, he would say, yes, I'm Adler. Everybody would flip up their card, and now there's going to be a confrontation between Adler and the heroes. During the confrontation, Adler gets to try to escape. For example, maybe he plays on the arrest card a bike. He's trying to escape with the bike. Any one of these heroes, without talking. Now, during the game, even before these roles are flipped over, nobody can talk or say who they think people are. All that has to be kept quiet. But maybe one of the other players also plays a bike, and so basically the confrontation still continues. Then it's up to Adler to come back again, and maybe he plays a boat card. And any one of these heroes, not even the one that arrested her, not even the one that threw the first one, can jump in and also play a boat card. Maybe Adler then plays a car card, and somebody else matches it and plays a card. Now, let's say Adler then plays an underground card and nobody else has one. This confrontation ends and Adler has escaped. These cards go to the bottom of the discard pile. However, let's say that the car was there and Adler had no more escape cards. At this point, Adler has to start a shootout. He basically will play a gun card to try to shoot the last player that played that car card. Now it's just between them and them. Let's say it was this player. Adler played a gun to shoot the guy who played the last card, which is that card. Now this player has to try to come back and play a gun. And then Adler has to try to play a gun. And then this player has to try to match it. If he can't, then Adler has eliminated this player. And Adler will basically be able to look at his cards that he left over and take any of those and then refill his hand up to 7 of the ones he didn't want from the deck. So that way he's basically eliminated. Remember, one of his victory conditions is eliminating all the players. Now, if he didn't eliminate them, but they both had equal amount of shots, Adler gets free, and basically they replenish their hands back up to 7. And conversely, if this player had more guns to play than him, then Adler would be eliminated, the game would be over, and these guys, the good guys, would win. Now there's some other cards that you can play during some of these things. When a confrontation's going on, there is a bomb card. Now this card's only good if Adler or one of the bad agents use it. And essentially, it basically explodes, it ends the confrontation, everybody gets up to 7 cards again, and all of the good guys basically lose a turn, and we start at the player who is next in line of whoever did the arrest card. There's a disguise card that's only used from the bad side. The other players will just discard it. This disguise basically means during an arrest, he basically escapes, and then you start with the next player after whoever played the arrest card. But those sound powerful, but there's only one of each of those in a 4-player game, so if early in the game someone discards one of these, that's really telling you a lot of information that they're probably good or they're really bluffing hard as Adler. And so this will continue through the rounds, through the 7th round. If Adler stays alive by the end of the 7th round and has at least one top secret document, he wins, and he also wins if he eliminates all the other suspects, where the other suspects are trying to eliminate him or make him basically not have one of these at the end of the 7 rounds. Now with a 5th player, you actually add Kate Collins. She actually works with Adler. They are both villains. They're both trying to win together. They can also win separately. If Adler gets eliminated, Kate Collins can win on the bad side by herself. So there's another person. There's also new cards that come out. Same cards you've seen before, but now there's multiples of them. So now there's a second bomb with 5+ players. And as you can see, the 5+ players, how many different cards are on for each one. Also, during the game, if someone tries to arrest, they don't have to say which person they think they are. They basically just say, I think one of these two, this person is a villain. And if so, everyone flips up their cards like before. And once they're revealed, every turn that Kate Collins has, she's going to draw a card like normal, add it to her 7 cards that she has. She's going to secretly give Adler one. Adler's going to take it, and then secretly give Kate one. So every turn, Kate's going to allow that to happen. And with 6 players, you also get another good agent. Basically, he gets added to the game, and there's more cards that are the 6, basically 6+ players, because you'll be getting more cards like that. And in a nutshell, that's how the game works. Well, there is Get Adler. Now this game takes a mechanism that's become very popular in the hobby board gaming market, which is sort of that traitor mechanism, or the one versus many, where there's that hidden person who's trying to hide out and do bad things and everyone's trying to figure out who it is. Now this game takes that mechanism and brings it to more of a fun, social, family level type of thing where you're not necessarily being forced to lie, but you're just basically doing some light card play. You're asking questions and trying to deduce who is who, similar to, like, say, in a game like Clue, where it takes that deductive questioning element, brings it into this family game, and you're going to be throwing cards down. And I think that's what this game has going for it, is that it is that nice family light level that uses mechanisms that are popular in today's board games. If you're looking for that light family level idea of deduction and not knowing who's the good guy and who's the bad guy and pointing fingers and such, then this is one you're going to want to check out. Below me is a link to the Kickstarter. It's already active, and they would love your support to check out the page.